So in this video, Rob and I are going to help you discover affiliate marketing secrets that are keeping you broke. And the reason they're keeping you broke is that you may not know ways to keep cost out of your business. Now, this is one of the key things that we talk about all the time. How to invite revenue and profit anytime cost wants to come to your party. We're going to dive into all the things that you can sell as a affiliate marketer. There's some very key things that I show on screen at the end, so watch it all the way to the end. I show these things because I want you to see some of the things that you can do to start increasing your business's revenue. We're going to be talking about what to sell. We're going to be talking about what things help you decide on the particular product. Is there a lot of traffic for it? Is there a demand for it? We're going to also get into a little bit of segmenting your email so that when you're sending out other ways to ask for the order to increase your income, the kind of things to say. All right, we also dive a little bit into what is the balance? At what point do you stop selling so much and literally just start talking to people? The benefits of reoccurring commissions. Now, I show you an example showing you the receipts on some of the things that you can do to, once you start selling, to really accentuate and increase the amount you sell based on what you already got done. So in other words, you're going to be selling, proving that you sold, and then selling some more. Here's another one. We call it earning mailbox money. That's the passive income. We dive deep into that as well. So, hey, I hope you enjoy this episode. We'll see you on the inside. Rob, you've heard me say this before. Cost and expenses cannot come to the party, the metaphorical party, unless they're bringing profit and revenue, their friends profit and revenue with them. And this is what we want to talk about today, everybody, is like, how do you determine if you're an affiliate out there and you're making some money on the side from your business, or your business is an affiliate business or whatever? How do you determine, and Rob asked me this, how do you determine which things to actually sell? So Rob, go ahead and drop the questions on me, and this will be the benefit of for people listening in.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, I've looked at affiliate marketing and you see the ads all the time, and I know that you do it and you do it very successfully. So I figured it'd be helpful for everybody to just hear how you go through and decide, like, what things are you going to be an affiliate of? How are you deciding, which segments of your audience you're going to present things to? What's all the thought that goes into becoming an affiliate marketer, since you've been able to do that successfully?
Yeah, one of the biggest things, everybody, listen, if you're brand new to the channel, I want you to subscribe. This is going to be a hot topic today because right now I think there's going to be a lot of people trying to find that hustle move. And this is one of the easiest, right? We see Adam Charrington on there talking about, he's making $453,000. Now I can refute quite a bit of that. He may be, but it's the people within the network of how he does the thing. And he says, without doing this, that, and the third. I actually looked into it and I determined that it wasn't the thing for me because of why. But anyway, what I do is I get really excited about a product, especially now that we have so many different AI products. So I'll say, okay, I'm going to check it out. Hopefully, there's a trial. So I'll say, if this thing can make me money, if I like it, if it can make me money within a certain amount of time, then I will pay for it. To go deeper, I will use it, and then I'll reflect on it. So I'll, basically document the using of it. And if you look at my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel, y'all, you'll see that that's what I do a lot of. I'm going to show you how to use this next new thing. I think the latest one was, I'm going to show you the new Canva updates. I have Canva. I have bought Canva. Canva's bringing me money because it's allowing me to build other things. And then I found how I can use Perplexity to just supercharge Canva and its offering to create directories. I happen to have a directory that I was considering as one of the other things I want to experiment with and spin up. That was a Grand Rapids date night guide, right? So I said, how would I put that out? I hadn't determined how it should look. So then I thought, well, I now bought Canva. Canva now has these new tools within it. I can demonstrate, here's how you do it. And that's literally what I did. I brought up Canva. I brought up another tool that I pay for. And I says, now here's how I'm using these tools to now monetize my life and make money, blah, blah, blah. So one of the big things is, can this thing make me money? You know, after the usefulness. So I'm going to use it. So I try not to sell something that I can't say, hey, I used it for 2 months. Here's what happened. That's one of the big things. And then, is it going to be worth your time? Right? If it's going to be worth your time, if it's going to pay you something like, 10%, if it's not 10% on like $10,000, it might not be worth it unless it's just a
Mm-hmm.
passion play. Like for example, Rob, one of your products or
Mm-hmm.
your the program that you had quite recently, and hopefully y'all didn't miss it. We
Mm-hmm.
if you did, we'll leave you a link. I don't know, maybe Rob will let you in because I'm sure it's full. But then Rob says, "Hey man, I figured out a way to make it an affiliate." Now I know Rob. I trust Rob. I know what he's doing. I know it's going to be a fire episode or webinar and workshop. You see what we're doing? It's like trust it. I know it. I trust it. I like it. Then I'm going to go ahead and participate in it. And I've come to some of yours. Now I want to sell it. That becomes the determiner. And I'm going to show y'all in a minute how I list my things out and some of the things that I do to then go and promote it. Because I know y'all want to know, okay, show me the little bit of the how to do this. This ain't a
Mm-hmm.
teaching session necessarily. It's just going to give you some high level stuff on how to do it. But anyway, what,
Yeah,
what was your next question,
and
Rob?
then one thing before you before you jump deep into that, I wanted to think about, because there's a lot of different questions that people that go through people's heads. I know for me, one of the things that I'm always looking at is what what product do I want to look at? What product do I want to what I even want to affiliate with? And something that you said off camera that I thought was really helpful for the group was, first of all, you've got to like the product.
Mhm.
And I think that part right there, do you have a like proactive looking for things that you use? How do you even go through stuff like that and then decide, oh, is it I'm looking for stuff to sell and then I find something, or are you looking for stuff to use and then you decide to sell it after that? How does that work for you?
Sometimes it's a little bit of both, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it may be, hey, I'm getting ready to do a talk on
Mm-hmm.
something. So I say, well, I'm not just going to get up there and talk. I want to
Mm-hmm.
have something that I can point people to. So that
Mm-hmm.
way, what we do is, even if that talk is going to be a workshop, a webinar, or something like that, or a YouTube for one of my YouTube channels. So I say, as I'm getting ready to talk about this particular topic, then I start looking around like, oh, what can I sell? And it may
Mm-hmm.
come from, and you guys will see this in a few minutes, it may come from my list of things already. So I may
That
go, huh, it may be my own product. It may be Monetize Your Life coaching program.
that's so powerful. Like just thinking about that, it's so funny because I didn't connect the two until you just said it. But I was just talking to I was coaching a friend of mine because she had given a speech, and so she was following up with me, and I was giving her some pointers
Mhm,
on what she was speaking about. And one of the things that we talked about was, you know, what do you want them to be doing at the end of the speech?
mhm.
And it was interesting because the way that her speech was set up, everything that it was talking about was the opposite of what she wanted them to be doing at the end of the
Ah,
speech,
interesting.
right? And she hadn't developed the decision of what she wanted them to do. In her mind, she's like, I want people to sign up for
Yeah,
my sessions, for my
yeah,
workshop, for what
yeah.
I do. But the reality was at the end of the speech, she didn't want anybody to actually do that because it would have been overwhelming having all these people coming up, right? This isn't a selling from the stage type of talk, right? Where it's like, all right, meet me at the back and have your credit cards out. And it wasn't that type of talk.
Hmm.
And that's not what she's looking for, but that's how her speech was set up. And what you just talked about, I think it's something for a lot of entrepreneurs. I remember I struggled with this a lot when I was first starting to speak, is that we forget that the speech is a step in order to.
Yeah,
And you have to ask yourself, what is the thing that you want them to do next?
yeah,
And so often we think that the thing we want them to do after they see us speak is go buy our thing. But we forget that there's like 2 or 3 steps between them seeing
yeah,
us speak and buying our thing. And
yeah.
we've got to be really intentional about what's the next thing that they're going to do. And when you just said that, you kind of when you said, right, I think about what do I want them to buy, or what do I want to sell them, or what do I want, right? That talk a little bit more about what goes
Hmm.
into that process when
Yeah.
you're thinking about that, because I think a lot of people think, well, I just want them to buy my product,
Yeah.
right?
It's
How do
monetizing
you
your
how do you
time.
decide that?
It's literally a monetization of your time and efforts. And I think why I started, monetize your life, everything, right? Why it says, hey, I'm the monetize your life guy, how you can, monetize the meeting. Here's a monetize your life moment, blah, 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 right? It's the thing that I'm standing on, kind of like what you were talking about a couple of weeks ago. The girl over at LinkedIn says, find something you stand on. So I start thinking about, okay, here's what I could be doing. I could be out there, working a 9 to 5 or something like that, and I could be making X amount of dollars. But I'd rather monetize my own dang life, right? So now
That part.
within that life are components. There's time, there's attention, monetize. So I think I'm getting ready to do X, and that could be used in doing Y. So I'd say, well, if I'm going to do X, and it better bring me some kind of outcome, some kind of money, or some kind of a way, at least a doorway to dollars, right? So that speech, or for example, your friend was having, it could have been like, all I want to do is get you to know, like, and trust me. And then
Mm-hmm.
she could have used a strategy I heard Myron Golden say once, and it was beautiful. He says, I'm not selling you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it's a lot. So I'm not selling today. And what happens? He does the thing. They get all fired up and they say, please
Offer me
sell me
something.
something. I just want to be in your orbit, kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I said, oh my gosh, that's so brilliant. So in her case, she could have just said, hey, look, I'm not selling you anything. I just want to talk to you about some principles that I really think could work well in your life. Here it is. Here, just have it.
Yeah.
And then what will happen is they will find her. And that's why
Yeah.
I talk about having a lot of digital things available for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, for
Yeah. No, I
example,
agree with you. And that was one of the things we talked about. And here's the funny thing, right? For her, what she really wanted was for people to reach out to her so that she could collect information, so she could
oh yeah,
maintain the relationship,
sure.
keep the conversation
Nurture the
going.
relationship
Because we
along,
talk
sure.
about, right, there's 7 hours of contact, there's
Yep.
12 different
11 7
interactions, all
4.
the
Yep.
1174 exactly, right? And in that space, I think so often we forget that all you need to do is keep them saying, yes, I'm interested. Yes, I want to do a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And I think that this is where affiliate marketing really can come in as well, because and you tell me what you think about this, but I think that one of the things that's really beneficial is if you become the person that I trust to recommend me stuff. If I go and try this thing that you recommended and I like it, then I go and try this other thing that you recommended and I like it. When you recommend something that you created, I'm already trusting you because I've built that trust with other people's stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that it's such a powerful way to move. And you see Gary Vee does it, Alex Hormozy does it. Like there's a ton of people in the space that do it, and you do it. For me, this is one of the things, one of the places that I'm trying to grow in as well is how do you how do you build out? So once you've decided a product, once you got the thing that you like, that you feel like you're gonna recommend, how do you
Hmm.
decide who you recommend it to, how you market it, all the rest of that stuff? Like, how do you choose? Do you just send an email blast out to everybody that's on your list? Do you segment it? How do you like what types of
It is
what thought
segmented
process
out.
goes into that?
Yeah, it's segmented out, everybody. So one of the things that you'll be, and Rob and I talk about this a lot, is like, who am I talking to? You're not having one conversation. You're having multiple conversations probably throughout the day, unless you're just, at home and, it's this, that thing. So I say, well, if I can have more than one conversation, am I going to have the same conversation with everybody? No, that's where we talk about segmenting out your list, right? You've heard that
Mm-hmm.
term before. So, for example, I may have, 4,500 people on my list, but I know 500 of them that I got through a very particular funnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll if you want, just put some noise in the comment section, and I will tell you how I can segment out my funnels. So then when I'm sending out a conversation just to them, like I got this one list that's got 80 people on it. These are 80 people that they're part of my Buy Me a Coffee community. These
Mm-hmm.
are people that have bought me coffee. Some have bought me 50 coffees. I just had a 50 coffeeer the other day, and they're $5. So that's
Mm-hmm.
250 bucks. They just gave to me for whatever I gave them $250 in buying
Mm-hmm.
me coffee. So that's my buy me a coffee community. I can go in there and now present things because they have already interacted with me. They have already purchased something from me. So the know, like, trust, and buy is already there. So now I'm giving them some different kind of value. Typically, it's a product or service or something that puts money back in their pockets.
Mm-hmm.
So because they've taken money out and given it to me. Now, on
Mm-hmm.
other parts of the list, depending on what I'm talking about, I'm going to go, I know because in the tools that I use, I can segment them out. I can say anytime they come into a funnel, I put a tag on there, and a lot of the software allow you to do this, y'all. Is you put a tag that says came in through my email marketing course. Boom.
Now, something I want you to do real quick because I don't want you to blow by this because this is a bunch of gold nuggets right here. A couple of things that Randy just talked about. First of all, he talked about what you can do, but something to pay attention to is what you need to be thinking about when you're creating, right?
Yep.
So many of us, and I'm guilty of this. I've set up 100 funnels where I just set up the funnel because I was getting the thing done.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'll figure out how to segment the group out later. I'll figure out all the rest of
Right.
that type of stuff later, right?
Just come into the
And I think
general email, the email.
exactly. We're just trying to collect emails. We're just trying to figure out if it works, right? Here's the one thing that Randy said that I think if you take nothing else from this video, take this part. When you're setting up email capture or information capture, lead generation, lead capture, lead magnets, one of the big things that you want to do is you want to make sure that you just have, and here's the beauty of it. If you have a link that somebody is going to click, you can have a tag that's added to that link
Right.
because they clicked that link.
Yes.
These are the types of things that, excuse me, it'll take you 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes total. Really, it's like 30 seconds to a minute. But even if you had to go watch the YouTube video and figure it all out,
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah.
take you a little bit of time on the front end, but it will save you a tremendous amount of time on the back end. I can't tell you how many times, like even right now, our email list, I've got to go through and go segment out about
Yeah.
a thousand,
Yeah.
no, about 2,000 emails
Yeah.
that I've got to make sure that the tags are correct because we weren't
Yeah.
doing that the right way on the front end. And
Right.
so now on the back end, I've got to go back through and make sure that we have these lists set up.
Yeah.
I wish I
That's
would have
one
known
way.
before to
That's
do it
one way.
the
Or
right
you
way.
can just ask them,
Mm-hmm.
hey, what's and you've done this before, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
you've done this before. I try not to say right anymore, but right because am I right? So is you can say, hey, what's going on? What's troubling
Yeah.
your business right now? Or what are you
Yeah.
concerned about? Or whatever it is, right? Whatever you believe that people might respond to. And then
Mm-hmm.
when they respond, that gets them a tag,
Yep.
right? So that can go by way of a simple Google form or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. And you can
that's
do
what
it.
you're
Yeah.
doing. You're querying and you're finding out. But if you
Yes.
do it on the front end, and this is something that I came late to the game with too, because I'm lazy. And I was like, I don't want to do all that. But it is one of those things that if you set it up in the beginning that way, it is something that Stephen Covey said. I literally was just looking at an updated version of his book by his son Sean. I think Sean was doing something with it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he says, thinking of the end in mind,
And
I
mine.
had to be
Yeah.
reminded of that. So now, literally, before I set it up, I think, A, what am I getting ready to talk about? What funnel?
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
distribution lane? Am I getting ready to say this on YouTube? Am I getting ready to say this in a webinar? Am I getting ready to
Mm-hmm.
send this out on a Facebook group? And then I kind of it depends on where I'm going to put it as to what I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
say because certain things you can't say on Facebook. They'll go, boom, I'm not showing this to nobody,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you're out there spamming or it seems like you're selling something or you get making some kind of unreasonable claim, whatever it is they got in their rules.
Mm-hmm.
It make me sick.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so effective at finding people for you. But anyway, so then it depends what you're going to say, what you're going to sell, and then the medium by which you're going to do it. If it's a video, I'll give you an example yesterday. So Saturday was an extraordinarily, I consider, effective day. I used, I'm going to show you, man. I'm going to tell you, I used these apps and tools yesterday, just on one day. Script Atlas,
Hmm.
Grok, Gamma, 1 of 10, Key Search, Perplexity, ChatGPT, 1 of 10.com, Camtasia, System.io, and what else? Scriptwriter. I used all of those tools in service of stuff I was creating. Lead magnets, a couple of videos. Now, when I did the videos, I did two separate videos, and they were kind of and this actually came from a mistake. This tool I was using kept cutting off at like 12 minutes, and I couldn't figure out why. So I got it, I plugged it in right before 12 minutes happened. I would just stop it right there. So now I had four videos that I had to combine together. But then as I was doing that, I was like, man, this will make a good 8-minute video. And then when I put this in, this will make a good 16-minute video. Within the video itself, I'm talking about different tools. I says, here's how I'm going to use Perplexity and this. But then on the longer one, it was like, this is how I'm going to use Perplexity, this, and Gamma. Right now, I'm an affiliate for Gamma, or Gamma, whatever they call it. And so
Hmm.
now, again, depending on what I'm doing and where it's going on YouTube. So I told my virtual assistant, I says, make sure the long one gets um, these three things. Make sure both of them get hey, here's how I am. And then I use my email marketing course that I just finished. I used to do this live, but now I did one that was, and I built a funnel for it. I did one that was online. But here's the funny thing about it. Because I know that people that see this video, they probably seen some of my other videos. They know, like, and they already know me. So I put
Hmm.
in the hours already. So I sent them instead of to a longer form, a pay sales page. I just sent them to here's what I'm selling. Here's a
Hmm.
checkout. But I had to warm them up. So it depends who your audience is, where you're actually going to be talking about something, and then you decide what you're going to sell based on what you believe could be the thing that, sells them something. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So every
Yeah, I
one
love
of
it.
them now are going to get my email, but I'm going to say, here's what I'm doing to build a whole business, right? And then it goes over to the email
Yeah.
list or the email thing that's like $20.
Right. And I think the thing that's so powerful about this is right, like a lot of times when you hear funnels and you hear, affiliate marketing, all this type of stuff, it feels like there's a ton of mystery behind it. And I guess one of the things I wanted to do for people today is just kind of demystify some of it,
Yeah.
right? Here's the basic things that I've heard Randy talk about. And if you want to break it down, it's kind of simple, right? It's number one, you first have to find something you believe in.
Yeah.
And for a lot of you all,
And that could be
there's
yourself.
stuff that you use already. There's stuff
Yeah.
that you do already. There's people that you follow. There's things that you refer already, right? And I want you to think about it from this perspective. You have sold people on going to see a movie before. You have sold people on going to a restaurant before. You have sold people on buying a book before. You have sold people on
On
watching a
marrying
YouTube video
you, on
before,
going out with you, on
right? All
the
types
other
of different
stuff
things.
you do.
And the funny thing about it is, like, you don't get paid for any of that. That same ability that you have to sell people
Persuade.
on, right? And at the end of the day, it's just literally telling somebody about something good that you've already encountered, something good that you like. The key is step one is find something that you like enough to tell somebody about it.
Yeah.
And I would recommend you all do this. Like take this challenge. Write a list of 4 or 5 things that you use on a weekly basis that you really like. Step two, figure out if they have an affiliate program.
Yes. And
Now,
most of them
Randy,
do.
you're the master of affiliate program. You're like, oh, I got a link for that. I got a link for
I
that. Like
search them
in our
out.
conversations all the time, I'm like, Randy, send me your link for whatever it is because I know you got one,
He
right?
never
Like that's
buys.
kind of the way that
Never
the
buys.
way that everything
Because
talk,
they send me an email if somebody bought something.
right? And so at the end of the day, the thing that I want you to do is tell them like, how do you find out if somebody has a an affiliate link
One of the biggest things I do is
or
Google
an
it.
affiliate program?
While
Say that
Google
again.
is still the biggest search engine out there, one of the biggest search engines out there, and the answer engines haven't caught up yet, then I just ask the question. Does XYZ have an affiliate link? I'll give you an example. Here's one. I'm looking at my affiliate links right now. I took this Kobe test, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the Kobe test is kind of another one of those personality thing, blah, blah, blah. And it kind of tells you a couple things about yourself. So I thought, man, I like this. This could help some people. Now, I never made a sale from it, I know this tell you. But I went and I found out whether or not Kobe, because I just took the thing, I liked the results. So next, I did a video on it. And I said something like, if you want to find out who to have as a collaborator or partner or how you show up in business, this Kobe test that I just took, here are my results. So I now got the receipts. But
Mm-hmm.
now I'm honoring, guess what? The time. I just took time
Mm-hmm.
to do that. I could have been over there working that 9 to 5 or doing something else. So I
Yeah.
said, I wonder if this thing's got an affiliate link. They did. I took the test. I could show the results. I can talk about it. Now I create content around it.
Mm-hmm.
So by
There you
creating
go.
content around it, now you have the content that you can put on your YouTube channel, or you can use it as a tiny course or something on how to learn yourself. Start with the Kobe test. It's awesome. I took it, and here's what it showed me. You will not
Mm-hmm.
believe number four. And people go, "What?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?" So that could be one of those things. And then
Exactly.
you get paid if somebody clicks on it.
So it's that easy. All you gotta do is just literally go Google and say, do they have an affiliate program?
Yes, I do. I say Kobe index. I'll give you an example. So I was talking with somebody the other day, and they were talking about I don't know, doing some gardening. And I says, like I normally do, I says, hey, make sure that you lens yourself doing your garden because you can go over. I said, where are you going to get your tools? I said, I got them over at Home Depot. I said, Home Depot has an awesome affiliate program. And they were like, what are you talking about? I just want to go dig in the dirt. I says, well, while you're digging in the dirt, document it, kind of like what Gary Vee talks about. Document it, showing people they want to see that. I watch gardening shows like crazy. But then when I'm watching a show, if I see a tool, I might say, where did you get that? I've never seen that tool before. It could be from TikTok Shop. But
Mm-hmm.
then now because you're already doing the thing, and I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
y'all a little bit of the monetize your life strategy, y'all. On the Two
Yeah.
Business Guys Mastermind channel. That's why we do this. That's why we mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
So then I says go to I Googled it. I showed them how to go to Home Depot affiliate program. Click, or you can go to their website and go all the way down to the bottom and look for either it'll say partner program or affiliate program, or it'll say
Damn.
something like referral link. And
Damn.
then I
That
sign up.
part.
I'm using it. I do a little content around that using it. So now you're honoring the time. You package that up and you place it somewhere. There's so many things that you can do
Mm-hmm.
from that. I'd have to actually have you a part of the
Now,
community
now
to tell
that
you the
piece that you
rest.
just talked about, the packaging it up or making a video, does this have to be a 15, 20 minute video that you're doing? Like, what does that look like? And for somebody, if they've got something like, how much depth are they trying to go into? What are they trying to talk about on this video?
Don't teach them. Just tell them. Don't sell. Tell. You
Hmm.
see it all the time on TikTok especially, because TikTok has they figured out how to put money in people's pockets and try to stay around. You try to stay around by, allowing people that are watching your stuff to then eventually sell your stuff. It's called a two-sided market. They are consumers at one point, and then they may actually use, or they may actually sell the product, right? What else is a
Hmm.
two-sided one? Uber. So you might get an Uber, and you might decide on a weekend you want to Uber. Two sides. So in this particular case, you say, hey, look, I'm just going to talk about this for like 30 seconds. You've seen 30-second videos. I've seen them and I've bought. Somebody showed me a fishing pole that just caught a monster fish. 30 seconds later, I am pressing buttons.
Hmm.
That easy. Or you can go a little bit more in depth, right? You can invite people in and show us how you used it. Like the one lady did with this one product that I present, the designer. And I'll leave a link for that in the description field, everybody. So designer is I say, hey, this thing works. So when Paul gets on there, the owner of it, he gets on there talking about, hey, I use this tool and I created an ebook and I use Word Genie, blah, blah, blah. And then the lady gets on and says, yep, I just created a $27 ebook And it only took me X amount of time. I can then come on and says, they're telling the truth. Here's what
Mm-hmm.
I did just for a client. I'll give you an example. I walked a client through, and I've been adding this little bit of an extra. It doesn't scale, but it works better. Is they had it. I, got
Mm-hmm.
the commission obviously for selling it. And it's like anything else. If you're working at the mall, you get a commission for selling them gym shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a commission for it, but then I showed them how to fix something that they had inside of it. But now get this, y'all. Here's the opportunity. You record it. So your client comes on, they just bought a product, and you show them how to use the product. You take that content, and now that becomes case study. Real life. Hey, we're doing a real life case study on how to use Designer. I just showed a client. So now you're honoring the time, monetizing your time. You're showing somebody how to do it. Looks like we lost Rob.
All right, I'm back. I don't know what just happened.
Back better than ever. If I don't edit this out, y'all, Rob's gotta Rob's gotta pay the cable bill. Just saying. So anyway, so what part did you miss out on?
You were starting to talk about oh God,
So
like you
how
were
you kind of you make content around the thing that you're helping people do.
what is going on?
Or you is saying unstable?
It froze again. I have no idea. Like literally nothing has moved, nothing has stopped. I don't know what's going on.
So anyway, that becomes the opportunity is to constantly look at what you're doing, asking yourself, is there an affiliate for this thing I'm getting ready to talk about or using? They even talk about that when you're doing some. I don't necessarily recommend Amazon now because they just don't pay as well as like maybe a Walmart would or a Best Buy or something like that.
Mhm.
They have some good programs.
So when you're talking about paying well and stuff like that, what are the types of commissions that you're seeing on affiliate programs? Like what's
It
a good
depends.
commission versus a bad commission?
Me, I like anything that's 40%, 50%. Of course, the 100%. And now, when you get 100% offer, someone says, "Hey, you can take it off," but I'm getting that email. They
Hmm.
got the asset. You get the sale, but they get the back end offer opportunities. So,
Yeah.
but when you
Hey.
think about something for a minute, you're already using a product, and it says, "Hey, if you can show other people how to use this, or they want to buy it, we'll give you 40%." I'm all over 40% all day long.
Yeah. And
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 you,
that's
of
the cool
course,
part.
you want the reoccurring. There's so many different things you can do. When you think of
Mm.
like the Adam Charringtons that get on and say, "Hey, I make $453,000 a month," kind of a thing. I don't. But when he says that, he's got a system, right? But I'm gonna tell you the game is that there's a community of people just buying from each other. That's what it is. But and I'm not gonna throw shade on the guy right now, but I've looked deeply into it, and it's kind of a S show because
But
it just
him
is.
him aside, looking at you said something that I thought was really interesting because this is one of the things one of my mentors talks about this all the time, and he's always talking about how if you if you're gonna get paid for something, try to get paid for it more than once,
Yes.
right? And so you said something I want you to dig into a little bit.
Mhm.
There are affiliate programs that will pay you recurring commissions.
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit about
So that
stuff
recurring
like that.
commission is because every time that person buys from them, they
Hmm.
have a good feeling that there are other products that they sell people will buy. In other words, people will get the minimum one and then they'll
Hmm.
upgrade. And if they
Hmm.
upgrade, they pay you in a recurring on anything that they buy. Here's another one. Let's say that let's say it was Netflix. Let's just say it was
Hmm.
Netflix. And
Hmm.
they're going to not only buy movies, right? Or maybe that's Amazon, but they're not only going to buy movies sometimes,
Hmm.
and you get paid on a recurring basis, but they're also going to
Hmm.
have every single month they pay. That becomes a
Hmm.
reoccurring for you. So let's say somebody's paying like, $49 and they got a 40% comes to you, then
That's
every time
awesome.
they make their payment, you get a payment.
Yeah, and there's a lot of programs. I know we were just talking
I
about
love
one of
reoccurrings.
the programs that works like that. Go high level. One of the things that we
Yeah.
talked about in the past that I've got some of my websites on and everything, but they have a affiliate commission. Like there's people that run their entire business, which is just basically, hey, we'll build you a website on Go High Level, and part of the cost is just
Yeah.
you paying this
Yeah.
reoccurring fee that they get a kickback
Yeah.
on.
And there's nothing wrong with that because guess what?
Yeah.
When you go to Walmart, you think Walmart owns all that stuff in there?
Mm.
They're a big affiliate joint. So Walmart literally says, "Hey, we've got 10,000 stores. You want your stuff in our stores." And then we will handle the checkout, we'll handle returns, we'll handle bags and all that kind of stuff. And then they say, "Okay, if you want the middle shelf, that's going to cost you more."
Yeah.
So
A higher
they act as
percentage
a
commission.
they act as a giant affiliate
Yeah. And it
for
makes so
different
much sense
products and
because
services.
remember Sam Walton, like if any of you all haven't read Sam Walton's autobiography, Made in America, you need to go read it. Number one. But number two, one of the most interesting things to me about like his story, like he grew up, his first kind of couple jobs out of college was working in Ben Franklin's five and dime stores,
Yeah,
which basically were reseller stores. They would get products, put them on the shelf, do the same thing. Dollar store, Dollar Tree, right? Just different
all
names,
of it.
same thing.
All of it is reselling now. You can eventually start getting to the point where you are selling other people's stuff, but what you want to do eventually is get to where you're selling your own stuff. And it
Why is
could
that?
be as simple as, well, I have a service. This could be you. I have a
Mhm.
service that shows you how to use the stuff. Now
Right.
you're tech support.
Yeah. Now, but why is it that you want to get to the point where you're selling your own stuff? Like what's the benefit? And
You
I
get
know, but I want you to tell the
90%.
tell the
Let's
folks.
say, for example, right, when I'm selling a digital course, my digital courses, boy, that's a 90% profit.
Yeah.
90%. 10 is just for, some fees that you had to pay Stripe or some fees that you had to pay, depending on what
Mm-hmm.
program you're on. Let's think of Shopify, right? Shopify has been making a very, very big push, if you notice. And I just saw a really good one too from LinkedIn. And it made me, not LinkedIn, I saw a really good one for Linktree. Now, I couldn't stand Linktree. I just, it's like, I make my own link trees using the tools that I have, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it was offering you a free thing, blah blah blah. You can and they can link off of it, all that kind of stuff. And then they just came out with Linktree Earn. Now it
Mm-hmm.
stopped me cold when I saw the commercial because now they're saying, oh, and by the way, anybody within the community that's selling something, you can become an affiliate for them. And I was like,
Nice.
that's game changing stuff. That's
Mm-hmm.
innovating within the thing because their only other model was go to Linktree Pro and you can do other things with it, whatever. But now you start thinking about link trees and you go, okay, it's going to be a series of just link outs. Well, those could be your affiliate offers.
Mm-hmm.
You do it says, hey, look, I'm gonna leave my link tree for you. I do
Mm-hmm.
it with my link in bio, right? I'll show you in my link in bio. So I'm gonna show you how I do this as not a brag, everybody, but a blueprint. This is what this is all about. If you can blueprint off of this kind of stuff, then it makes it easier, hopefully, for you to spin something up very, very quickly, very, very easily. So let me show you this real quick. And this can serve as your quasi website if you decide to, but it gives you a chance, if you will, right? Tell me when this is showing.
Yep.
Okay, so look at this. I tell people right now, begin monetizing with these guides. Get my guides, my videos, my blog. So what am I suggesting you're going to do? Begin monetizing. Here's who I am. I'm looking back at you saying, hey, you see, I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
My name in, but then I go into my other stuff. Here's Randy. Here's my coaching and consulting for cash flowing. All right. Here's the benefit and the feature. Right? Here's some
Mm-hmm.
SEO tools. Guess what? I'm an affiliate for this tool. You click on that, you go over to the tool. Somebody might say, man, I want AIO and SEO. Podcast. Let's see Rob in there. He's right there. Here's what I'm doing. Podcast,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube masterminding. Begin masterminding. So I give you the opportunity to go over to this stuff that you're now taking people over. Simple. When you come on this page, there's not much you can do. A monetization media RBI company, which is me. Get in touch. Want to talk to me? Okay. So you can use little things like that. Unlike Linktree, why I didn't like them is they didn't give you this opportunity to do more stuff, to put a little image here. Hey, a little bit of know, like, and trust. Here's who I am. Get in touch. Call me today. Stuff like that. Now, what I also wanted to show y'all, is this. Is my, kind of master page, master. of all my affiliate links. So I may be in there doing something over here, hire writers if you are in that space, my PayHip information for my other stuff, my
Mm-hmm.
TubeBuddy affiliate link. I can show you videos that I've used TubeBuddy, how it helped me. Audible, here's some stuff going to some things to our podcast. So you now have a chance to just, and I keep it all in one spot. But get this, what if my disclaimer? Hey, I bring you these free videos, but I am an affiliate, letting you know that this is what's up. The tools that I use then are in here. Like I say, Rob's is in here, Rob's course affiliate link,
Mm-hmm.
bam, right? So these are things that you can do to, again, enjoy the opportunity to make money from what you're already doing. Make money from what you're already doing. And if you're not doing something, start doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guarantee you there's something that if you look around, I think I got a course or had thought about putting a course together. I says it was called 25 ways to make where you stay pay, right? Trying to rhyme it. And I literally go around and I don't know if I have that available anymore. But anyway, it doesn't matter if you live in a house or an apartment. I'm going to walk you around and I'm going to find just 25 things that you can use. So I'm showing people, you see that over there? Where'd you get that? Oh, I got it over at so and so. They have an affiliate program. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and now show me how you use it. So
Yep.
I literally
No,
go
I love
around
it.
25 things, 25 things. Oh, see that big old TV you got? That ain't no TV. That's a monitor.
Now, one of the things that we've talked about a lot, and you said this, and it took me a while before I feel like I got it, but then I got it. You talked about, right? There's hunters, there's farmers, and then there's trappers, right?
Yes, yes.
And one of the things that I want you to talk to the people about just a little bit is one of the cool things that I've noticed about you and your affiliate marketing is these are things that you set and almost forget, right? It's
Yep.
not as if you're consciously all the time marketing these things, right? You have YouTube videos that are out there that people click on the links because they're binge watching videos and then they see one and all these other types of things. How cool is it and what does it feel like for you when you're getting checks from affiliate links and things like that where you haven't talked about the thing in 2 or 3 months, but you're getting a check and right, mailbox money as they like as some
Bro,
other people like to call it.
mailbox money. Mailbox money is awesome, right? It is when you get, and I'll show you a couple right here. Sometimes I got this one recently from let's see. Oh, it's like I got this one recently and I had forgot about it. I forgot that it was on a video. And then again, here's what happened. I not only got the commission, but I had it on a particular site. So when that person clicked on that link, now they also went into my email list,
Mhm.
right? And when they went into the email list, now I have them on the email list. And I was like, here's one right here that showed. Let's see this one. This might be a tiny one. I spelled it wrong. So um, So it's so good when you can set it and forget it. I literally call it set it and forget it business, right? Okay, here's one that I just got on April 14th. All right. And this is, I had it out on a video or I sent it out on one of my YouTube channels if Facebook let it go by. And it just came in, bro. And I was like, oh, that's
Mhm.
cool. Right. I spent it. I mean, I paid taxes on it, obviously, but I was able to spend it eventually.
Mhm.
So you have a new payout. You see that? You have a
Mhm.
new went right into my PayPal account, right?
Yep.
And like bam, there it is. From some stuff that I already use. Stuff
Mhm.
that I already use, and this is how it works. And I want to show y'all because these things come on all the time. Right now, there's Rob's right there. Rob says, here's one way a long time ago. It says, hey, I'll pay you 50%. I love that. I'm all over that. So there's another one, 32 bucks. Somebody did
Mhm.
that's one of those reoccurrings, right? And
Mhm.
then uh, you have a new commission payout. And I like sending stuff when I get a payout. I send it over to my lady. It says, hey, we can go to dinner, right? So these kind of things, man, they just follow you around, bro, and it's just so cool. So
And
anyway,
and I think that's the cool part about what we're talking about, right? Like you do this work one time and you get paid multiple times for it.
yes,
And so if there was one thing that you wanted to say to the people, right? Because I know that it's something that gets kind of difficult trying to figure all of this stuff out.
yeah, yeah.
If somebody's listening to this, sitting here listening to this right now, and listening to us talk about it, and is thinking about the things that they're trying to do, right? I already gave them the challenge of going and finding like 4 or 5 things that they can put on their list of affiliate things. What would you say is the next step that they should do after they make their list of 4 or 5 things? What do you think they should do next? Next two or
Start
three things they should do so they can
literally
get
start
started.
thinking to yourself as, and I've been thinking about this. I literally sent this on a Facebook page, a Facebook group yesterday. I says, what would happen if you were a retail store? I said, what if it would happen if you considered yourself a retail store? So this is a mindset thing. So
Mm-hmm.
first, it's like, okay, here are my 4 or 5 things that I think I would like to do in this affiliate space. Then I would say, here's a little bit of a mindset Jedi trick, if you will. See
Mm-hmm.
yourself as a retail store. Now, what is a retail store trying to do?
Sell things
Sell stuff. And if they're open 7 days a week, how often are they trying to sell stuff?
7 days a week.
7 days a week. So if you look at yourself like, I'm a retail store. Now I need to be trying to sell things every day. So one, mindset. See yourself as an opportunity to sell. Now, the techniques that you use is not car salesmanshipy. It's not that. It's not on social media always selling. That's like the our buddy Chris Mathis talks about this. He says, people are always trying to ask for marriage. Don't be that person. But you can teach and tell and talk about it. Hey, everybody, I just got this new book in, and this book is on fire. Or here's one that I got right here. I just I just got this 2 terabyte thing. I just got it in because guess what? I thought I had lost all of my stuff and I panicked. So I ran out and I bought this thing right here. Y'all can do what you want. It saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're just telling somebody says, "Hey, where'd you get that?" I do it all the time. So that's one of the first
Mm-hmm.
things. The next thing is then show what you're doing. Show what you're using. Tell. You don't have to sell. Tell what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, next, set up your barrels. Where's money going to flow into? I hope they're flowing into barrels or whatever it is, right? Set it up. There is all kinds of systems by which you can get paid that will collect your money.
Mm-hmm.
You can use learning management systems, LMS. You can use those if you want to. You can use the Gumroads, the PayHips. In other words, find a place where your money will come in, a PayPal link. That's
Mm-hmm.
next. And then
Yeah.
here's the last thing, the fourth
Mm-hmm.
thing. I want you, and this is something that I'm borrowing from Gary Vee, man. And I'm just like, dude, we've been hearing this for over and over again. My thick skull is not wanting to do this. But he says, if you're not out there social selling, you're leaving money on the table. And he talks about like in Asian countries, China and all that kind of stuff. They're like light years ahead in the space of getting on social and selling. He says, look,
Mm-hmm.
HSN does it, QVC does it. Why won't we?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
have decided to look at myself as a retail store, and every single day I am trying to sell something. It may be, hey, get on my email list. It may be, I just bought this new software. Y'all want to see how it works? It may be putting out a automated webinar, another set it and forget it opportunity. So those 4 things, do those. And like Russell
Yeah.
Brunson said once, he says, if you did a webinar a week, no, he said a month. If you did I think it's webinar a month,
Mm-hmm.
then you won't want for money because you're doing these webinars in a consistent enough way, money's going to come. Now, I
Yeah.
say, let's do a webinar a week. And then I say, let's do one a day in a sense, right? Metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words,
Mm-hmm.
get out there, use social, sell.
So with all of these things, right, I can see this. I can see people on the other side getting overwhelmed and being like, "Oh my god, that like all the different payment processes and all these different types." You have a course where you walk people through how to do this, right? In
Yeah.
your Monetize Your Life
Yeah.
Academy and stuff
Monetize
like
Your
that.
Life Coaching Program.
How can people figure out like where can they is there a link that's going to be at the end of this? How can they get in touch with you to
Yeah.
have them to help
I'm going to
walk them
give you
through
my
that?
link in bio. And why I want to give you that is because it's the tool that I use to build my whole business.
Mm,
Plain and simple. Now I mess around with other tools, but this thing is my all in one, blah, blah, blah. right? And it then, so I'll leave that at in fact, I'm gonna make a note for myself to leave the link in bio. Click on that, and then it will bring you into other opportunities to understand what I do, to get to know me better if you want to. You don't even have to talk to me yet. But if you say, dude, I want you to walk me through this, that's a part of the thing that I'm going to not only do for you, but I'm going to show you how to do it for yourself. You get you get enough information where you can say, I'm really skilled at that. I didn't put 10,000 hours in, but I'm skilled at this thing. And you start
Hmm.
showing people that thing, there's a community for you. I
Hmm.
kid you not. And this is where I'm gonna make some recommendations on how to find those communities, but that's inside of the Monetize Your Life coaching program.
Awesome. Awesome. So everybody, like we said, challenge number one, make a list of 4 or 5 things that you all do right now
Yep.
things that you use in your business, things that you use in your daily life, whether it's, um, food items, whether it's, beauty items, whether it's tools around the house, whether it's software items, whatever it is, 4 or 5 things that you feel like you would love to tell people about and get paid for. Second thing that you need to do, look and see if they have affiliate links. Third
Yep.
things you need to do, reach out to Randy so he can walk you through how to build up your affiliate
Yep.
business.
If that's the blueprint, I'm gonna show you where the to bolt stuff on so that if you making a plane, it don't fall out the sky. Just saying.
There you go.
All right,
All
everybody.
right.
That's
Awesome.
it for
Awesome.
us. We will talk to you on the next one. Hopefully you got some value from this. If so, you know what to do. Send it to somebody. Like and subscribe. Comment. All of those things. We love it.
All right.
We'll
Have a
talk to you
great
next
one,
time.
everybody.